Alright, it's a little bit of an update. I haven't done many videos because I've been super busy with school, and now the kids are on spring break, which means even more work. But I have still been modeling, I just haven't been doing videos. So here's a little catch up. The first thing is, it's pretty much all done with the Orion class build, which is instead of a nebula, it's a nebula class, but instead of a galaxy class as a frame, it's an ambassador. And then I was deciding to put a mount in the bottom so that it can be mounted with the Borg assault fleet, but I also I like the work so much I wanted to be able to mount it separately. And when I was drilling it in, I pretty much cracked all the pieces. Luckily, it really hasn't shorted out anything. None of the wiring's damaged. One fiber optic was damaged, which is easily replaced. I can even go back into the LED housing. That's easy to fix. One of the resins part was broken, but it's an easy fix. It's just a little frustrating because I was pretty much done. The only thing I had left to do was tuck in the wires and put some lighting in for the secondary hull and make sure that it did the deflector, and then I was all set. It was really all done, other than painting, of course. But I can't remember what I showed last time, so I'm going to show you where I was at, because I was about to do a video right before I broke this, which was really disconcerting. But here are the impulse. Maybe I should turn this around. It's not going to hold up too well. But you see the flickering, the impulse in either one, and how it goes just like this. I know it's kind of weird to show it in this condition, but I want to show the lighting that I've done. The repair is easy to fix. It's not a big deal. So the impulses are on each pylon, and they're flickering LEDs, and you can kind of see them flickering. And then right here is the rear anti-collision or strobe light. It hasn't been cut down, and we'll leave it long until it's painted. Here's the hangar bay, which is nothing. Right there on top, right here, that's the lighting I did for the sensor pylon. And the only thing that's not getting lit up right now, which I think I severed it, was I put the SM LEDs for navigations, and they're steady on, the same as the saucer, and the sensor palette. And I put a resistor on there. I ordered a bunch of resistors of different what do you call it, ratings, and I found the right one that would lower this. So they're just too damn bright otherwise. And then what I'm going to do is add a trim piece of some kind over it. Obviously it's not lit, and that'll let the light go through, and I'll put something on top of it, kind of like the 1350NX, you know, like the little crystals or little clear part that go on the nav lights. Do something like that. Maybe even just a little part of a fiber optic, so it looks whatever this ends up looking like, the nav up front. That's what I'll do to that. All the lighting is great. The only thing is I had to change. Originally this was going to run at 12 volts and then resistor down, so it's designed to run off 3 volts. But the resistors were getting too hot. You know, I'm not the best person in electronics, but what I'm thinking is there's something about amperage. There's too many lights in here, and I can't tell you how many LEDs. There's a lot, especially for the size. And trying to resistor it down, I tried different combinations of one large resistor versus 2 small resistors, all this different stuff. They're just getting way too hot. I actually kind of burnt my hand a little bit. So I'm just going to leave it at 3 watts, and I'm not sure what that means as far as how to hook up to the Borg cube. I know there's things, there's voltage regulators, and I don't exactly understand their application, but based on what I had with the resistors, what I think it is resistors can only handle so much current or amperage, and if you go beyond that, you're going to start getting heat problems. And this is my guess, just from what happened today. So I think I need voltage regulators for the different ships that run at different voltages, at least for this one, because it gets too hot. And I've decided that I like this one. Looks so good that it's going to have a stand. It's going to have the slipping rods, you know, the smaller rod that goes into a larger rod, and it'll be on the Borg cube, but I may display it separately because it may get done way before, because I really like it a lot. But this looks really good. The navs on the sensor palette look really good. They're just overly bright. And something I guess I should talk about is one of my previous videos I talked about all these tiny little SMDs, and you know, people generally say don't buy them because they're too small to wire up and they're just too damn hard, and they're gonna break and you're gonna burn them out. And if you remember, I wired them up on my very first attempt for that, and that's what those are. These little tiny, each one of these yellow dots is an LED. You just pull out of this like Looks like a what do you call it? Old back in the day, what do they call them? Negatives. Looks like a negative that you get back with your pictures. And I wire it up really easy, and I'm not good at electronics, I'm not good at soldering, so it's easy to do. So if you want to buy these, great, it's an awesome thing. But these are the smallest ones I could find like that. But what I also did was I bought these, which everyone knows, SM LEDs, and I think these are 0.1, I think that's what it is. But the thing is, these are so much smaller than those. They're about half the size. Can't show it to her, but it's the pre-wired ones are about half the size. There's a lot more confidence, at least I have a lot more confidence, that this wiring is done properly versus what I've done. The only downside that I have is, and you can buy them in different configurations, these come with both wires coming off to the side like this. And when you move them, you can only move them a couple times before they break, and I've gone through so many of these pre-wired ones because they break off. So if this is not the orientation that you want, you only have a couple of times you can change the lead to whatever direction that you want, and then it's gone. The lead will break off. So these are great to have. They're not that expensive. They're for 20 of them, it's about 12 bucks or so. It depends on what kind you get, where you get them from. Usually free shipping. And I've noticed I bought a lot of stuff from China lately. The stuff from China is coming a lot quicker. Usually it would take upwards of a month, even 45 days, maybe 3 weeks. Now it's coming in a week, sometimes just a few days. I don't even know how it gets here so quick. I'm not sure if there's been some kind of change of policy with China or the United States or whatever, but stuff from China is not that bad as far as waiting for it. But my point with this is I plan on obviously keeping these in stock. I already have them. It's taking me a long time to use them all. Get some more of these. I've noticed there's some other ones that have the leads in a different direction, stuff like that. I may get some more of those because it's a little frustrating I only have 2 wired up, but I think I've gone through about 10 of them. It's kind of frustrating. The only other thing is I bought a resistor pack. This was like $4. It's 30 different resistors, and it was great because I could really just go, and they're all labeled too. When you buy these, I bought ones before that aren't labeled, so you have no idea what the hell it is unless you read the bands, and they're so small, and some of the colors are so close together, like copper or whatever it is. Two of the, like the browns and the red, looks really close together, so it's hard to distinguish. But they're all labeled at the top, so you can kind of figure out where you want to be, and then go a few ahead, a few back to get the brightness, luminosity that you want. So if you get a pack, I would recommend getting something like this that has a lot. This says 30, not a lot of each one, but you can experiment going back and forth. But you're probably going to want a lot of 1Ks. I have a whole pack of 1Ks. You may want to do that. The other update, the real cool update, is this. So this is the 12500 Equinox warp engine. It's got masking tape on there because I was doing some epoxy sculpt, and I don't want it to get everywhere. But I've got 2 LEDs in there. They're the pre-wired ones I just showed you. I haven't filled it in yet. One of the reasons I've been delayed and working and doing videos was I wasn't really sure what I wanted to fill this up with. I've used this stuff with the window maker from Testers. It doesn't seem all that great to me. So then I got the micro crystal clear, and I haven't used it yet. I want to experiment with it. And then I also got some acrylic fake nail making stuff on the internet. I'm going to experiment with all these different ones. I really couldn't find a dental acrylic. The only stuff I found online, it comes in large quantities and it's pretty expensive. And I think I'm only really going to need for this application. I don't really want to buy it. And based on what I've watched of other people's videos, it's good stuff, but it's kind of interchangeable for other things. So it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to buy something so expensive that is equatable with something that's less expensive. But when I put the stuff in here, whatever I decide to use, if it doesn't work or it gets too hot, like sometimes the epoxy will get too hot, or we use a super glue with the zip it gets too hot and it can screw up the LEDs. I've had that happen. So I haven't really done anything because I've been waiting to experiment with it. But let me show you how this works. I did the wiring like a few weeks ago because I don't exactly remember what I was going to run it at. But here I just did it backwards. So here it is at 3 volts, which I know I'm not going to run it at 3 volts. So here it is at 9 volts. and I'm probably running it between 7.5 and 12, probably 9 volts. It's bright enough. It's overexposing it, but the buzzard's bright enough that when I put, what I'm gonna do is put clear in here and then tint it. This will be blue, this will be red, and it's bright enough that it should just disperse the light throughout there. I'm hoping, that's my plan. I want to do a few experiments before I actually put it in the nacelle, but it's all good. It looks really good. The black, maybe you can't see it. Maybe I just step this down a little bit so it looks more realistic on camera. One more. So this is 6. One more. See what that looks like on camera. So that's like 4.5 volts, and to you, the brightness it looks like, that's what it looks like to me at 9 volts. And you see the black in the middle there? That's the wires that go from where the leads go into up the pylons to the front buzzard light. And maybe it'll be a little bit brighter than what you're seeing there, but I think with I'm gonna, overclock's not the right word, but overclock the LEDs so they go a little bit brighter, so you don't have to worry about those dead spots in there. And then all I did other than that is I just ran the wires down the pylons as straight and as even as I could, and when I paint them I don't think it'll be noticeable. And then that clicks in to the body like this. And let me get to... So one of the things I was working on too was the old berth, and I decided to remember cast it and clear and bury an LED in there. I did experiments today. One LED right here with a pre-wired SM LEDs running at 9 or 12 volts. It lit up the whole saucer, most of the nacelles, and kind of back here. So I painted it, because what I plan on doing is putting an LED in there and then scraping away. And this is the bad cast piece, the one that didn't come out very well. And I'm going to have to recast it and come up with a new mold, because my mold's too bad, because I just need one and clear. But this one's too rough in a lot of places. But when I put one LED in there, it definitely lit up the whole saucer section, most of the pylons, and then part of what looks like the impulse back here. So when this thoroughly dries, which is probably now, I'm going to scrape away and see what it looks like. And that one LED lit this up way more than I thought it would. I might need like 2 LEDs, but that's about it. I mean, 2 is it, man. And there's different versions. I can't remember what episode there was another berth where this was lit up blue here and this was red back here, and then there's the window lights here. I think in Star Trek 3 there was no blue, and maybe not red. I don't know if it was red or not, but I'm pretty positive there was no blue. But I'm going to do the blue version. The reason I mentioned that was, I don't have it right here, but I recast this in clear, and I buried some LED strips and high-tech stuff, did all this stuff, which you really didn't need to be. Based on how well this turned out with just that one SM LED, I'm going to probably cast one more clear with like 2 or maybe 3 clear LEDs. It's like my 4th or 5th recasting of it, but it's not a big deal because I think that's going to give the best light distribution. The only thing where I'm getting a little like, what am I going to do next, is so if I put like 2 LEDs in here and then I solder the pylon wires to that, and I do the same thing to the other pylon, solder to it, then recast it. This is locked in there. There's nothing else I can do. If the casting comes out bad or anything, this pylon's lost because it's stuck inside there in the clear casting. And my mold wasn't even designed for this. So I'm trying to figure out a way of connecting these wires internally to here, but there's not enough room to like solder. And the only thing that I could think of is somehow running wires down out here and out, because it's designed for the thing to plug in right here. I'm just having a hard time figuring out how I'm going to connect these wires to the dorsal, and then this other one too, and then to the thing. I can't solder externally, it's too small, there's no place to hide it. I just can't figure that out. It's the only thing I can't figure out. So that's what's next on that. And then what I've really been working on as of late, I really haven't been working on any of that stuff. I just kind of did that stuff today. what I've been working on is I've been just kind of like sick of the Borg cube, and I've been sick of all the small ships and the fiddly crap. So I wanted to get back to my little scratch built, and I did quite a bit of work on it. And what happened is when I got back to it, I wasn't really paying attention. I was trying to mess with my my flashers, and I burned out my board. But it was actually just a intermittent sequential Christmas light board, so it really wasn't a loss. I think I paid like $2 or $3 for it. But I had a refit, 350 refit that that fallen off my toolbox and broke, and so it was pretty much just scrapped. And it wasn't really a loss because I had made so many mistakes with it. It was my first foray back into modeling. There was just so many mistakes that I was really okay with it. I was kind of dealt it anyway. But I had a Tentacle Controls board in there, so I pulled that out. And part of it got damaged from that and from me messing around with it. So it doesn't have the nav portion on it, but it does have the, well actually this is the nav portion, but it doesn't have the strobe portion. So I pulled out my damaged board out of this, I put it in the Tentacle Controls board, I hooked up my strobes to it, and then my navs are going to be steady on. This one just isn't wired up, that's why it's not lit up. But my navs are steady on, like Enterprise C kind of thing. I don't remember what the Reliant actually had. But this is the Reliant to the Enterprise C kind of era. And this is, where is it? It's 4 impulse or warp engines. And what I've been doing a lot this week is I fixed the nav lights. Maybe I need to push this up one more. There we go. The other thing is these are landing bays for Shuttlecraft and fighters, which I have a set of. And my little control tower that was here looked super bad. If I pull this out, oops, you can kind of see a little bit right there. See that red right here? I'd done such a bad job with it that it just was so bad I had to pull it out. And I replaced it, instead of having, you know, a flat thing with windows like that, I went with kind of like a toss thing where it's just kind of like a little little room that's right there, and that is lit up in red. It's just not wired up. I just installed it and finished it. Actually, there's like 4 or 5 different reiterations of this. I did a bunch of different things, so I finally came up with this. And then what's going to go on back there is, so this one is a shuttle bay, this one is the fighter bay. Back there is going to be, when you look in there, you're going to see a cargo module like in the Motion Picture Enterprise. I have some leftover decals, and I'm going to line this back wall with decals. I'm going to buy some more Dune Lights and Magic cargo modules. These are just the Paragraphics ones. Put those in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to scale these down. This is supposed to be 1537, not 1350. And these are 350 decals. I'm not sure if I'm going to size them down so they're size accurate, but you can't see a whole lot, so I'm thinking a larger size, it won't look so busy, it'll look better, even though it'll be out of scale. I don't think you'll notice that it's out of scale. And the Don's Light and Magic cargo containers are in 1350 anyway. So I'm probably just going to keep these decals. You can't see anything I'm doing. But I'm going to line this back wall with decals. I might put the walkway that's on the side of the Motion Picture Enterprise. I think it's too much for something you can't really see. Cargo containers here. I think it's Monsters in Motion or Federation Models sells a 1537 work bee, which I'll get. I think I'm probably going to get it. I'll see. Well, I might as well just buy it. They're not very expensive anyway, whether I use it or not. I still have a couple of the 1350s, and I don't think you'll notice the scale differences I was saying before. This is going to go back behind there. I have a bunch of Shuttlecraft that are going to go inside here. I have a bunch of fighters that are going to go inside there. And the only other thing, and for some reason, oh, there it goes. Oops, I just lost everything. I don't know why, but the always happens when you're on camera. Oh, there it is. Something's going on. Oh, there it is. Got a bad connection right there. Let's see if I can get it just. So here is my front deflector. Maybe we should lower this. And the front deflector is reminiscent of the NX. You can't see anything. But it's a blue glow right there. What I have for the front deflector, but I tilted everything, so now I lost everything. Here it is right here. I think I got this Federation models. It's an aftermarket deflector. This is going to go right here. I think I'm going to take this off the stand. And let me zoom out. So you can't really see, but that's illuminated in blue. And there really isn't hot spots in person. It looks like there's hot spots. Let me pull this cord. So the side, which I just put, I'm a horrible cameraman. The side's right there, right here. I just put another round of putty, but it has to be puttied some more. All those are the executive shuttles that come in the 1350 kit, cut to the proper shape and inlaid on both sides. And then the deflector itself is actually the clear stand that comes with, I think, the original version of the NX, the 1350. Or maybe that's the, yeah, that's what it is. And it's just with Tamiya transparent blue. And then actually, I think I put actually a strip of blue tape behind that just to diffuse it a little bit better. And then the navigation in front. This isn't the length; it's actually going to be shorter. I'm just not exactly sure how short I'm going to. Originally, I was going to just do it like a flush mount to the blue portion, and this was just for stability. I just pinned it in so it would be more stable. But I kind of liked how it protruded out. So I'm thinking about doing something with letting it stick out a bit. Not quite that far, because that's pretty far. I'm going to plug the camera, because that's pretty far. But something like that. And let's see what else can we talk about this. So it's got photons. Oh, there's not photons up front. That's some type of sensor thing. It's got impulse crystals. It's going to have dual impulse on the back, which I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with that yet. It's got crystals in the bottom back there. You can see the blue. It's got lights on the bottom. This is going to be, you know, the damn, what do you call it? Not the strobe effect, the floodlight effect. There's another flasher back there, and then the pylons. It has a flasher here and here. They're all lit up here. And what I've been working on too is installing floodlights on the top and the bottom so that they hit the hull of the ship. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing that's going on is I got a few new kits, and I'm going to do an out-of-box review for the 2 Dune kits I got. Just because I think they're super cool, and I've only seen, I think, 1. Or maybe 2 other reviews, and they don't. I had to really search for them, so it's not that popular. So I'm going to do that, and I think that's kind of it. I got a few other kits. The Royal Starship from the Naboo ship, I got that in. What else? I got a couple of new Babylon 5, not new, but there's enough reviews, there's no sense in reviewing them. There's something I'm forgetting and I can't remember what it is. Cannot remember what it is. Oh, I just ordered or just bid on, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to win the Fifth Element cruise ship towards the end of the movie from Larson's Designs. I just bid on that, and that should end, I think, tomorrow. And then I'll do a review of that when that comes in, because it's a pretty cool kit. But that's it. That's all that's been going on. School's been keeping me busy from doing videos, so I just really haven't done. Thanks for watching.